Welcome, everyone. This is Selling More Cars with Google, specifically talking about conversions and explaining them. So you might hear this term a lot, conversions. And the problem is it's within a lot of different aspects. So what we're going to do in this mini presentation is we are going to go through what conversions mean, but then we're also going to define some of the important types of conversions. But even more than that, we're going to prioritize those types of conversions to show you where you should be focusing most of your effort. And in a later video, we may actually line up the advertising sources of where these conversions are most generated from. So then you can say and see, okay, where are these conversions stemming from and what form of advertising do I need to do in order to get more of these? So without further ado, we're going to get right into it now. So sell more cars with Google, car dealer conversions explained. So here's our overall marketing funnel, right? And I'm going to try and keep this as simple and basic as possible. So marketing funnel has a few different steps. It's defined a little bit differently depending upon who's defining it. But basically what we have here is we have the awareness, consideration, intent, and evaluation stages. Some people set up marketing funnels a little bit differently. They include more steps or they include the purchase in there. And then they also have retention in there. In our example, I'm going to focus on new car sales, and we're going to sell one person or one actual customer a vehicle. Retention, I believe, is its own funnel and should be treated separately. We're not going to go over retention in this video, but basically, these are the steps. So before we go into defining conversions, well, actually, they're not called conversions anymore. They're called key events. And one video I'm going to link up here is going to explain why that is and what that means, because the nomenclature is changing. So why are key events, aka conversions, so important? They are actionable items on your website that you want more of because they result in more people in your showroom and more car sales. I'm going to repeat that because it's freaking important. Conversions, key events now in GA4, are actionable items on your website that you want more of because they result in more people in your showroom and more car sales. Again, I might be preaching to the choir, but I think it's important to refresh all of us on this definition because it really goes to define what we're trying to accomplish. We want more of these steps, right? These are the steps before the actual purchase, and they show high intent to buy. Now, let's get into some of the examples. All right, so we have our marketing funnel back again. And what I did here is describe a few different examples. Okay, I'm going to put my face over here so we can see. So I'm only looking at Google properties right now, and maybe in a future video, I can go ahead and explain all the different advertising sources as far as where they fall into the marketing funnel. Not only that, but which type of metrics we can use to evaluate their performance. That includes video, traditional, mail, social media, what have you. If you feel that that would be of value, please leave me a comment below, and we can get into that. So we're going to start with just Google Ads, more search based. So we have Google Ads, and we have Google Ads up in the awareness section because Google Ads used to be just search, which used to have just high intent, right? You actually have to know what you're searching for. But Google's additional networks, such as the display network, which is under Google Ads, such as the search partners network, the video network, which really is YouTube, really stems into awareness. So some metrics that we use more for awareness base are going to be clicks, impressions, impression share, video views. Those are some of the common ones. Interaction rate or click-through rate would be on there as well. But we consider those more vanity metrics, meaning it's good to have, and that means that people are actually aware and engaging with the ad and at least seeing what's happening. but it doesn't necessarily tell us an actionable item on where we're taking them to, which is most oftentimes the website. If we look at further down, we have consideration and intent. These two are blended oftentimes. So this is what we'll see now in Google Analytics, specifically GA4, used to be conversions, but now is key events. Some examples are blog page comparisons, right? So that would be a page view event. There, we made it a little more digestible to see. So again, we went from this awareness part to now consideration and intent, and it's blended a bit, right? So an event type page view would be like a blog page comparison, comparing two vehicles together, maybe on brand and off brand. So as an example, a 2023 Toyota RAV4 versus a 2024 Toyota RAV4. What's the difference? Or a 2024 Toyota RAV4 versus the 2024 Honda CRV. So those pages, we see a lot of success, especially when they're localized. And I can further explain that in more detail. Again, leave anything in the comments if you want to see more. But that is an example. We also have VDP and SRP page views. So third parties make the claim, like AutoTrader, Cars.com, Car Gurus is like, yeah, we got to generate a lot of page views, which is true. But what's the quality of those page views? Yeah, we might be bringing people to see the actual vehicle, but what happens after that, right? And that's why that is more in the consideration and intent for part of the funnel, because those types of just page view metrics are good, but they don't necessarily, there's more to measure that can get us closer to actual car sales. So that's why they're not all the way down in the evaluation standpoint. They're consideration and intent. Other things like viewing incentives, price drop alerts, and I've included chat start on here because chat we consider a hard conversion or a very important conversion, key event now, but it doesn't always result in a car sale. It could be someone chatting because they're trying to consider more options on a specific vehicle, or they could be chatting really for service. And most chat providers, at least from a conversion standpoint, we don't differentiate a service chat versus a sales chat. Maybe that's something we need to do moving forward. And I'm actually going to write that down now as a topic for future use. So with that, though, those are the consideration and intent examples of events, right? And I'm using events and conversions very close together. That's because they actually are the same thing. Google's revamping their definitions, right? Conversions are just events that are the most important. But now Google's reformatting their nomenclature and saying it's events and key events, right? Again, key events are just key events. They're the most important ones. And then Google's going to keep conversions for specifically for Google Ads to make it more, this is what it is. So if we keep going down here, now we're getting into the evaluation stage. Not quite the purchase stage yet, but these are the ones that I like to focus on the most, because if we can increase more of these, then we can get more purchases. And this is usually where the marketing stops. I shouldn't say stops, but the marketing responsibility ends here. The baton handoff after these guys are to the sales department, the BDC team, the salespeople, the general sales managers, so on and so forth. And that's why typically my team likes to reverse engineer the funnel. How can we make sure we capture all of these first, and then we'll go up the funnel to get more and more and more? Because it does, people do go through the marketing funnel, right? But we first want to capture as many key events as possible. Then we'll go to normal events. Then we'll look at the vanity metrics. That's how we actually market and get the most amount of car sales for our stores possible. So some example key events or conversions, aka conversions. Finance starts. So someone starting the finance application. Someone starting to trade in their vehicle or submit a KBB ICO lead or value your trade button. Someone starting to fill out a credit app. Yeah, they got high intent to do purchase. If they're filling out a credit app, most stores also, will not most, but a lot of stores or salespeople, when they have someone in the showroom, they'll point them to their actual credit application form on the website. And that's how you know it's really low down in the funnel. Carfax start. So starting to, okay, I'm locked in on this vehicle. I want to know the Carfax. It's more that could be an argument of that's more intent than evaluation, but we include it there as a key event. Lead form submit. So anybody submitting, I'm interested, get best price, so on and so forth. Those are really, really important and high measures of we're ready to evaluate, right? They're expressing their intent of, okay, I want to make a purchase here. And then of course a sales phone call. The sales phone call, again, that's similar to chat, how you can track chat sales and service and phone call sales and service differently. You'd be surprised. In a lot of stores, even using platforms like Call Review or Call Rail or any one of those platforms, the service and sales actual phone call reporting, there's not a great way to I don't see a lot of stores actually hone in to the different sales and service phone calls, unfortunately. I think that would be something that would be very, very relevant. It just takes a lot of work to do, right? Or it takes a lot of cost to actually look at, but it would be very, very important because there are far more service calls than sales calls. And to be able to listen to the sales process and listen to those sales phone calls is of the utmost importance. So, guys, that is it. We only go through a couple of examples. If you would like a list of the full key event list that we use so that you can use it in your marketing, please let me know in the comments. I would love to do that for you, but I only want to do it if there's actual interest there. I think it would really help. And if you would like a list of our events too that we go to know and track, leave me a comment. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.